Alright, you guys, wanted to get you another video up here. So super excited about this video, not super excited about the rain outside. So we're gonna do this video up here in my office. This video, I kind of just wanted to touch on a couple things about me. If you follow me on Instagram or you follow me on Facebook, you know that I did just sell the Street Glide. So the purple Street Glide is gone. I sold the purple Dyna. Now, I've never had a drug addiction. I've never been addicted to alcohol, but I have a motorcycle addiction. So, wasn't even 4 hours into talking to the guy who's gonna buy my Street Glide off me, and I already found the next bike. So right now I have two options. I'm either going to get a Sportster 1200 and I'm going to build that up just to have some fun with it, or I'm going to buy a Road King, and I'm probably going to do the Road King in an 88 cubic inch engine. So I'll go with that original twin cam. I love the Timken bearing bottom end engine, so that's what I'm kind of looking for right now. Probably put some fishtails on it, do some taller bars on it, probably do about a 14 or a 16 inch bar on the Road King, and kind of get a nice paint job on it. I want something that'll be kind of like the West Coast Vicla style. So that's my addiction. My addiction is, I love motorcycles, but I want one of every kind. I want to have at least owned one of every style motorcycle, and I want to have at least had enough time riding them to be able to talk about them and explain things to you guys as well. So was at my local dealership last week. Got to ride one of the live wires. So somebody traded in one of the live wires. That bike was super fun. Don't know if I would ever get used to not having the sound of an exhaust or not needing the shift, because it is one single gear. It's pretty much just an automatic, but 0 to 60 in a quarter turn of the throttle. It was insanely fast, insanely responsive, and it handled really nice, better than I expected. So if you ever do see a live wire around, make sure you do yourself a favor and take it for a test ride. I also got to test ride one of the Nightster Special 975s. That bike I did a video on. I said it would be the best bike for a beginner. I still agree 100% that's going to be the best bike for a beginner, hands down. I got to put it on a couple different modes, got to ride it in sport mode, and it's very capable. From 25 mile an hour to 50 mile an hour, I did not have to leave second gear. So the bike is really fast, and it would just take a lot for me to get used to running it at a super high RPM, because technically any Harley I've ever rode, I wanted to shift about 3,500 RPM. On that one, it just kept going. So that was a real cool experience that I had. I also got to test ride a V-Rod, which I thought was going to impress me a lot more. Really wasn't that impressed by it. If you guys have rode one or you like them, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you do have one or what work you've done to it. But I just wasn't as impressed as I thought I would be, especially coming from my Lowrider S. I didn't think the V-Rod did anything special. The Nightster Special, on the other hand, I thought was great. So do yourself a favor. If you have a motorcycle endorsement, get to your local Harley dealership and test ride anything you can there, because it's crazy just to see the difference on these new bikes that they're bringing out, to see the way that the 90 horsepower handles on that such a small bike. I was impressed, really was. So the topic of this video, I really wanted to touch on some motorcycles that are coming out to keep your eye on that are not Harley Davidson motorcycles for 2023. And then there's going to be an Easter egg in here as well. So I wanted to touch on the 2023 Indian, what they call the Sport Chief that they just came out with. So pretty much it looks like a cross between their Chief and their Scout. So I'm sorry, the names always slip my mind. But it looks like a cross between the Indian Chief and the Indian Scout, and then they put a fairing on it that's kind of like the Lowrider S. So that's going to be something to look at. It is only going to have that Thunderstroke 116 engine, 120 foot-pounds of torque. So it kind of looks like they're making a motorcycle to answer to Harley's crowd that is buying the Lowrider S and the Lowrider ST. So that's what I see them doing. Again, it's nothing that I wouldn't expect from Indian. So Indian likes to modify and redesign their motorcycles to take cues from what is working well for Harley Davidson. So we seen when they came out with that Pursuit and the Pursuit Challenger, they keep gearing towards what we're doing on the Harley Davidson side with the Road Glide, and coming out with the Road Glide ST. So they're trying to keep their customer base happy by offering them things that Harley is doing that's beneficial to Harley Davidson and their riders. So I'm not really impressed with the Thunderstroke 116. The reason why I'm not impressed with the Thunderstroke 116 is primarily because if you want to build these bikes, once you go with that Thunderstroke platform, that's as high as you could bring that engine. So right now, Indian does not offer any aftermarket additions performance-wise to the motorcycle that are going to allow you to build the engine any larger. So yeah, you could put some cams in it. Yeah, you could do some fun stuff to that bike, but you can't bring it any bigger than the displacement of the engine that it's going to currently come with. So on the flip side of that, if you buy a Harley Davidson motorcycle, you have companies out there like S&S that are putting out 143 cubic inch engines. You have Moonshine Performance that's out there putting out 100, and I think they have a 53 cubic inch, a 153 cubic inch Harley engine, putting out ridiculous amounts of horsepower, 170 horsepower coming out of those engines. Very high performing bikes. So I don't know if it's going to be enough for Indian just to keep making these motorcycles that resemble Harley Davidsons, or if they're going to be able to hang performance wise. So also that Sport Chief, another thing about it that I noticed was that they shortened up the rake. So they literally almost took the exact specs from the Lowrider S and the ST, and they just shoved them onto their Chief frame. So they shortened up the rake to a 28 degree rake, which is something Harley Davidson has been doing since I think it was 2016 on the Lowrider S models, the first one being that Dyna with the dual rear shocks and 28 degree rake. This motorcycle from Indian is coming in right around $19,000. So I feel like if they were going to compete with Harley Davidson, they should have at least drove their price point a little further down. Now, the motorcycle is coming with some premium Fox suspension on it, but you're also right around that $19,000 manufacturer suggested pricing, which we all know once you get to the dealership, you get the fees, all that, whatever colorway you're putting on that bike's probably going to be around $24,000 out the door, tax, title, everything, somewhere around there. So for that price point, it's going to be really hard for you to actually determine just off price whether you want to go with the Indian or the Lowrider S. Yeah, the Indian has some different rear suspension, but you could do that to the Lowrider S as well. So two motorcycles that I'm super excited about that Harley Davidson just put out this year is the Road Glide 3. So they came out with a trike. It is essentially the Harley Davidson freewheeler, but they put a Road Glide fairing on it, and they offer you a premium wheel package. You can get the motorcycle either chrome finish or black finish. It's also coming in 3 colors. You could get a black, a blue, or a gray, but you're getting that freewheeler platform. So Harley Davidson, tried and true with the freewheeler. People love those motorcycles. But if you're going to take it on the highway and you want a little more comfort in the wind on the highway, and you want to have some music, touchscreen navigation, you're going to want to look at this 23 Road Glide 3. This bike is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not a big trike guy. I'm a two-wheel advocate all the way around. But when I look at this bike looks like a hot rod. It's absolutely amazing. All the features you get with it, the technology that's packed in it. So the technology and the benefits that are on this bike are on the same level as the CVOs from Harley Davidson. So you're getting cornering active safety enhancements with the Road Glide 3. You get those on the premium CVO models as well. So you want something that's going to look really, really good if you modify it. So I can see a lot of these bikes getting rat rotted out, getting a lot of customization done to them. They already come with the super premium wheels. If you haven't seen this motorcycle in person, you need to get out here, your local dealership, stop in, see if they got the Road Glide 3. If they do, take this thing for a test ride because it's a monster. That 114 engine on that trike just moves, sounds great, looks like a hot rod, and gives you all the premium technology that Harley has to offer. Another bike that's not a Harley that I was interested in this year, the KTM 890 Adventure. So KTM had the 890R, and that bike was more off-road capable. So this year they want a more street-tuned version, so they came out with the 890 Adventure. They dropped the R off the end. It's tuned different. It has 3 ride modes on it, so you're going to get street, rain, and off-road mode. Now, just to let you guys know, if you have rode one of the Pan Americas or Pan America Specials from Harley Davidson, the ride modes do not compare at all. But KTM is offering this bike in a more entry-level price point, but you're not getting the capabilities of the Harley Davidson Pan America. You're getting a slightly different advantage by going with the KTM 890. In turn, you're going to save some money cash-wise, but you're going to suffer on the suspension. You're going to suffer on the premium features, the technology. You're going to suffer on your ride modes not being as responsive as Harley Davidson's. But that bike is going to be an amazing bike for you to check out. So do yourself a favor, check out the KTM 890, do your compare and contrast. But I think that bike's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to offer a lot to the people that are going to be in that range. Another motorcycle that's going to be out of probably 90% of our pay ranges is the new Arch 1S. So the new Arch 1S, super hyper premium motorcycle. You guys should know if you've ever heard of Arch motorcycles. It's kind of a joint venture between Keanu Reeves, some other sport bike riders and designers. So this motorcycle comes in at $128,000. It offers you a S&S 124 cubic inch motor. So, but it's on a sport style chassis. So that's going to be something really cool to look forward to. I want to get on one of those bikes really bad, but I'm going to wait for that Buell Super Cruiser to come out. So the Arch S1 is like up here with a Bugatti, and then the Buell is kind of right here with one of the new Corvettes. This Buell Super Cruiser is going to be coming in at 160 to 180 horsepower. They're going to be available in 2025, but pre-orders are available now. So if you want one of the Buell Super Cruisers, almost looks like an FXR frame, but it has an 1190 engine in it, which is almost identical to the ones Harley's putting into their Pan America, the 150 horsepower engine Harley's putting into that bike. But it's on almost an FXR chassis. So do yourself a favor, look up the Buell Super Cruiser, look up the Arch 1S, kind of compare and contrast those two motorcycles, and then let me know, Do you think the Arch 1S is worth the $130,000 that it's retailing for, or the Buell, which is going to come in slightly above $20,000, which is offering you a more modern engine with 160 to 180 horsepower depending on the tuning? You guys let me know. I'm super excited about both of those bikes because they are super aggressive cruisers. They kind of seat you up more of an aggressive riding stance, a cruiser riding stance, which is what I prefer. The Arch 1S is going to be a little more sporty. The design and the feel of that bike is a little more sport bike based, but it's giving you a V-twin power plant. So the Buell Super Cruiser is kind of the exact opposite. It's giving you a Super Cruiser platform. So your chassis system kind of feels more like a Dyna or an FXR, but your engine is more futuristic. It's like that dual overhead cam kind of Pan America style engine that Harley's doing with the Rev Max engine. So it's going to be really cool to see what we get here in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's going to be really cool to see what Harley does and how they keep up with the competition. It's also going to be amazing for us to experience all these bikes on these different platforms. Also, I did want to touch on another one I'm super excited about. So the Livewire S2 Del Mar. This bike is going to be coming in less than $20,000. Completely electric motorcycle. So Harley had their hand in the Livewire. Now it's kind of a joint venture between them and some other companies. And I think that the updates that they did to that motorcycle for the 2023 year is day and night compared to the Livewire that I rode in 2014 at Sturgis, the one that I just test rode 2 days ago at Youngstown Harley Davidson. So if you guys are local to the Northeast Ohio area, stop in at Youngstown Harley Davidson. We are going to have a Livewire on the floor. They're going to list that motorcycle. So if you are interested at all in the electronic bikes, get out there and check this thing out. It is super fast. It's wicked fun. If you want to order one of the Livewire S2 Del Mars, the launch edition is available right now, coming in at about $18,000, $19,000, $20,000 depending on what you do to it. Their base model is going to be coming in at about $17,000. Remember, this is without tax, title, all the extras, so that's just the manufacturer's suggested price. Throw $4,000 to $5,000 on top of it. That's reasonably what you're going to pay out the door. So I just want to thank you guys for watching this video with me. Very quickly, we're going to get rid of the Street Glide. Once the check cashes, we're going to get you another motorcycle here. So let me know what you guys want to see next, because like I told you, I am a throttle addict. I am highly addicted to motorcycles. I'm going to keep buying bikes. I'm going to keep selling bikes. I'm going to keep getting you guys new ones because I like riding different styles of bikes. The next bike I'm getting, I really think is going to be a Road King. So you guys stay tuned. I'll get you some more stuff up. I'm going to try to hit the lot here on Sunday, try to get you some more stunt content, try to get you some more test ride videos. As the weather breaks, I'm going to get you a lot more first-hand experience reviews on motorcycles, especially Harley Davidsons. Stay tuned. Got a lot of content coming up.